Okay, so apparently we're super tight with Lo-Fi Girl. Um, they're letting us use their music, which is nice. I would call them a rather huge and successful organization. I wanted the porcelain, I think it's made of porcelain doll. They had like a little porcelain figure of Lo-Fi Girl. I don't know if this is too popular culture, too pop culture for some individuals. I once heard that a good Christian, as opposed to the bad ones, a good Christian has their Bible in one hand and a newspaper in the other. A good Christian has their Bible in one hand and the newspaper in the other, meaning, as one of the fathers of the faith have said, if I named them, you would know them. They were saying something about it's historic. In and around the 1600s, I'm going to see if I can get this right. A historic father of the faith says this: if you preach the gospel with every specific detail and forsake the current events of your time, you are not preaching the gospel at all. I'm going to try and get that better, closer, and more verbatim the way they said it. If you preach the gospel in great detail, with the exception of the issues that deal with your time, you are not preaching the gospel at all. What does this mean? The good news, the Bible, the gospel, God, theism, is not outdated, archaic, bronze-aged wives' tales. Extremely applicable. Yes, we understand when it comes to academia, interpreting the Bible, one original context, one interpretation, many applications, as some people might say. And I know the mic is like super hot right now. That ain't the only thing hot in this room, meaning the fire of God. Like, we got the word of God, Jeremiah chapter 20, verse 9, there is a fire shut up in my bones. His word is like a fire shut up in my bones. I am weary of holding it in fact, I cannot. And then we also read in Hebrews chapter 12, I believe it is, definitely Deuteronomy chapter 4. I mean, I have my Bible within arm's reach, that God himself is a consuming fire, or God himself is a devouring fire. And so when we talk about the fire of God, first and foremost, what is the fire of God? As I've been asking in my own theological journey, what does that mean when, like, charismatic Christians, oh, we just want the fire? They're asking for God. The fire is a person. Says Hebrews chapter 12 and Deuteronomy chapter 4. Okay, so anyways, I'm literally just jumping on here to do some tests. Yo, Mama Abiel, you're so solid. Is Papa Jordan here? I was going through some names, some inboxes, and we got some really, really, really faithful people. Mama Amy, is Mama Amy gonna watch this? Jazzy Soul 10. Guys, you guys are so solid. Abiel's coming in. Anyway, I wanted to do a Twitter X test. That's literally why I did this. And then I'm like, okay, so I got a verse. I mean, I think I've already given a message, but it's just technology, guys. I love theology. That's who I am. I was off of technology. I didn't have the internet. I did not have the internet for years. I was off of the internet for years. How's that possible? Well, I would go to public places to use Wi-Fi just to answer emails and do like some church stuff. I'd go visit my grandparents, use their Wi-Fi just to simply do administrative stuff, maybe pay some online bills, like whatever, answer emails, namely. I didn't have the internet for years. I was off of social media, obviously, for years. As I like to say, I retired off of social. I don't like technology, in a sense. I really don't like lights, camera. I certainly like the action that comes from the Holy Bible, even if it's waiting. I would suggest that waiting is not some subservient posture. It is proactive. Waiting isn't even about the length of the wait. It is about who you are waiting with. And when you wait with the Lord, you can wait forever. It is not about the length of the wait. It is who you are waiting with. And then you realize that it's not even about the destination anymore and the goal and the results. You realize that it's about the journey, that he himself is the goal, he himself is the finish line, and he himself is, it's not about the results, it's about the relationship. So, we're doing tests. So something weird is happening. Twitter X won't let us go live. But like, we're just, because we've been whispering. You're like, thank God. Thank God this guy's was. We're not even live on TikTok because our test is irrelevant to the TikTok family. This is only a test to see how truly Christian I am. We're about to test you, man of God, to see how really Christian you are, because people are like bags of tea. You know how strong they are when you put them in hot water. I feel like I'm in hot water right now. I'm panicking. Can you see my sweat? I'm literally a bunch of dirty sweats out here. Twitter X, God bless them. We found a way to get around it. I thought we could develop the technology and how should I say this? Make the Twitter X viewing experience more pleasurable, more attainable, if you will, more palatable in terms of what Twitter X family sees and hears. It's just us right now. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we're on Kick, and I think we're on Instagram. So let's land the plane here. I'm going to go for a jog with my dog, hopefully get some food before our regular scheduled live stream. We're going to land the plane by saying it's the great experiment. It's okay to just show up as you are. Experimentation, by definition, requires failure. Experimentation, by definition, requires failure. We had Papa Josh and Mama Sarai over here on a Saturdays for the Boys live stream, and Sarai was saying failure doesn't exist. Once you understand that failure is a necessary, crucial, integral ingredient for success, failure, therefore, gets nullified and void. Because you can't have success without failing. You can't have success without experimenting. So I'm okay just showing up and just being me. I'll talk about whatever. I'll talk about cars for 30 minutes. I really will. And I don't care. Really. Because if we are not truly ourselves, and if we're not having fun, then what are we having? You know what I'm saying? We'll end with this. Experimentation, failure. You know, fear, sadly, is what dictates the majority of our lives. Fear seems to somehow control us, and we make defensive actions in life. Maybe you're in your teens and you're watching. Our youngest viewer and Bible reader in and around 10 years old. We've had 2-year-olds come in regularly and frequently. A 10-year-old is now reading the Bible cover to cover. A 12-year-old is now reading the Bible with us cover to cover. Failure, fear, whatever. You're in your 10s, you're in your teens, you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. I think it's a well-known fact. It's widely accepted that fear, sadly, dictates our life. It controls us and what we do and what we do not do, and our thought life hinges around the core and the crux that is fear. I'm afraid of this, therefore I'm not doing it. I'm afraid of that, therefore I will do something else. I'm afraid of failure. So I want to point to the Holy Bible here. I have many, so I'll just point to them all. I just want to point to the Holy Bible here and be like, the number one command in terms of repetition and frequency in the Holy Bible is not thou shalt not have any other gods before me, is not thou shalt not make any graven images and worship idols, is not thou shalt not murder. 365 times in the Bible, as if the Lord knew that we would need this each and every single day of the Gregorian calendar year, is as follows: do not fear. It says, do not fear 365 times in the Holy Bible. Fear not, be encouraged, be strengthened, so on and so forth. Why? Fear is a destiny killer. Fear leads to infertility. Fear will kill your identity, and you don't want that. You want no fear. You want do it and do it yesterday. You want just do it Nike. You know what I'm saying? You want to, in a sense, be unraveled, unlocked, and unleashed. How am I going to do that? By being fearless. It is the greatest pandemic. I would propose it's the greatest thing that we deal with. More than unbelief, more than faithlessness. Why? Unbelief, I would propose in this moment, as I verbally process and dialogue live in front of the interwebs, apparently, is unbelief and a lack of faith comes from fear. I'm fear that I might be wrong. What if I believe in God and find out that there isn't a God? I'm fear that I'm afraid of what people might think, so on and so forth. If I profess faith in a higher power, in Yahweh, doctrinal Christology, that Jesus is God. So yeah, unbelief is toxic. Faith is huge. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6, if I'm not mistaken. It is impossible to please God without faith. We need faith. We need faith. We need faith. We need belief. We need belief. What did we say the other day? I'll tell you. I would rather die believing than to allow my believing to die. What does this have to do with anything? Nothing, really. This is just a Twitter X test. This is all we're doing. It's as follows. Fear is this precursor. It is the breeding ground for unbelief. Fear is preceded, faithlessness and unbelief is preceded by fear. We get so scared that we freeze and we can't do anything and we can't think. We are incapacitated and rendered actionless because of fear. Do not fear. Experiment, fail, jump on live, and just be yourself. And if anything, this is what we'll truly end with. Say you don't go viral. Say nobody listens to you. Say you get flamed and gaslit and blasted. You get disowned by your own family. If anything, you know what you will do? You'll accomplish what most human beings do not accomplish. Walking toward their fears, facing their fears. What did I hear the other day? The caves and the dungeons that we fear the most produce the most treasure. In and around that regards and effect. The caves and the dungeons that we are scared to go into yield the most treasure. The goal is not to run away from your demons. The goal is to slay the demons. So when you go live or when you punch fear in the face, even though you're embarrassed, which will probably happen, get used to it. Be humiliated. That's going to lead to humility, make you more like Christ. Get over that, okay? You are going to accomplish what a large majority of civilization and society, at least where I'm from in Canada, don't even get close to because they're scared even in their 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s. And you would think by your 90s, you would learn fearlessness, but you're still scared of things. In your 90s, do what people don't do. Don't just walk towards your fears. Run toward them. Do not fear. We're out of here. We'll be back. Maybe you'll never see me again. Take care. God bless. Oh, bye-bye. What is this? 3:33 p.m. PST live stream? Mama Amy, you're actually here? I just saw your name come across my desk. I've been sitting at this desk for several hours. But it's a good problem because there's a lot. You know what? One of the best things, Mama Amy, I just wanted to jump on and say thank you. You know what's up. You know what I'm really feeding on, Mama Amy? I'll tell you. And I think you'll actually know this. I think it's Proverbs 14. Proverbs 14:4. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 4. For anybody and everybody, it's the word of God, but namely Mama Amy. I mean, this is, as your life is a mess. Your inboxes are a mess. Your bank account is a mess. You're like, where's my money? I lost my money. Where's my money? You're like, financial situation. You don't know where your money's going. You got YouTube Premium membership gone. You got your Amazon Prime membership gone. You're like, what's happening? Your financial realm is extremely disorganized, or you're doing bookkeeping and like whatever the situation might be, physically, mentally, emotionally, relationally, spiritually, and or financially. If your life is a mess, I got good news for you. Proverbs chapter 14 verse 4. Proverbs chapter 14 verse 4. Without oxen, livestock, animals, they got ticks. They got parasites. Animals are gross. They're just unclean, kind of. Animals, dude, they're just wild. They're just out there in the bush. Without oxen, without smelly, stinky animals. Without oxen, a stable stays clean. But you need a strong ox for a large harvest. But you need a strong ox for a large harvest. So what is this saying? The fact that things are messy is a good problem. The fact that things are messy might be a telltale sign that you're literally crushing it. This is a good problem because it means that you don't have the time to sit around at home all day and clean. Why? Because you're a high output individual. And the reason why the laundry isn't done is because you've been preaching the gospel, perhaps. And the reason why the dishes aren't done, it's because you took your wife out on date night and you guys went out to a nice restaurant, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Without oxen, a stable stays clean. Meaning there's going to be some crap in and around your life. God will use the crap in your life to fertilize your future. Did you catch that? Without oxen, a stable stays clean. If things are immaculate, that might tell me that you ain't doing nothing. You ain't got no haters. You ain't got no hate mail. There's no trolls jumping on your social. It's so clean. That could be an indicator that you ain't doing nothing, my guy. I'm really loud because I'm really passionate. Without oxen, a stable stays clean, but you need a strong ox for a large harvest, meaning that strong ox gonna poop a lot. But guess what? That's what you need for a strong harvest. You know what it says in Psalm 9? I'll tell you. It says that the fear of the Lord is clean. That's the definition of the fear of the Lord is clean. Not an empty laundry hamper is clean. Not an immaculate, dried kitchen sink. Not a drop of water is clean. Bro, what's this say? Let me see if I can find it. Is it Psalm 19? Psalm 19 verse 9. Psalm 19 verse 9. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. That's the kind of cleanliness we need. The fear of the Lord is clean. Psalm 19 verse 9. Okay, fam, we out of here. Wait, who else is here? Twitter X ain't here, that's for sure. TikTok ain't here. Yo. Freaky flow. Snow. Be melting away in the heat of the day. I worship Yahweh. Yo. I'm trying to open up some other comment sections. I don't know. We just can't. Oh, lighting's bad. Preaching's bad. But we got some good people in the house. John Warner, Flat Picking Tunes, driving a Toyota Supra. What generation? What are they called? MK5s? What chassis code is the real question? You know what I'm saying? Okay, we out of here. We'll see you guys in a bit. Take care. God bless. Oh, bye-bye.